In a previous video, we noted that the main question teens want to know about an event is, who's going to be there? Today, we're going to look at the relationships between teens and their peers. My name is John Gehrig. This video is one in a series on adolescent development. If you'd like to watch the other videos in this series, or download the notes for this video, go to the link in the description below. This course is based on a textbook by Laurence Steinberg entitled Adolescents. Information on this book can also be found in the description below. Let's get started. It's not surprising that teens spend a lot of time with peers. Studies show that adolescents spend twice as much time with peers as they do with parents and other adults. They are together at school, after school, playing sports and other activities, or texting friends on the phone. Our society is largely organized by age, in school, activities, and even at church. The more developed the country, the more time generations are separated from each other. But how do peers influence each other? Is interacting primarily with peers a help or a hindrance to teens? What do you think? If you're watching this video in a group, pause the video and discuss this question. Is the predominance of peer interaction a help or a hindrance to teen development? What do you think? You've probably decided that it depends on who the peers are. There's a perception that groups of teens are a problem because they undermine adult values. For example, adults care about success in school, while teenagers focus on entertainment, sports, music, and relationships, and these things interfere with academic performance. And some peer environments open kids up to bullying and depression. However, there is another view that a peer group is a helpful influence. Centered outside of the home, the teenager's personality, independence, and ability to make decisions are formed. Kids learn to socialize within their peer group, and the group plays an important role in preparing adolescents for life. As family values are being eroded, peer opinion becomes more important. And in our society, where everything changes so quickly, especially related to digital technology, young people keep adults up to speed. Most teenagers have a group of friends they hang around with. The group dynamics are not the same as they were when they were children. One change is that adolescents spend more time with their peers than they did in childhood. There's also less adult presence than there used to be, such as when parents took kids to the playground or a friend's house. Teenagers also have more contact with the opposite sex. In childhood, there are usually strict boundaries between the boys and the girls, but as they grow up, these boundaries soften and interest in the opposite sex increases. In one study of adolescent groups, teens fall into 3 social categories. One type of teens is the group member. There may be a hierarchy. Some are more popular or in charge, some less so, but the teen feels part of the group, and that group is often united by common interests. When I was a teenager, I played trumpet in the school band, and most of the kids in my friend group were in the band. We had classes together, ate lunch at the same table, performed concerts together, and hung out at each other's houses to listen to music. The second social category a teen can fall into is the periphery. These kids are not part of an identified group. They have friends, but these friends may not even know each other. They might have 1 or 2 friends in school and 1 or 2 friends in church. These kids aren't friendless, but they don't have a group of friends that does everything together. The third social category of adolescents are the isolated. They do not socialize much with their peers. Perhaps this is their choice because of personality or fear, or maybe they're socially awkward or not well liked by other teens. Or maybe they don't share common interests with many other teens. Often, these teens are the ones who are drawn to a student ministry leader because they're socially hungry and crave interaction. The leader should provide friendly support while helping them connect with the other kids in the group. This diagram shows peer relationships. There are two groups of teenagers, A to E and F to K. There are two peripheral teens, L and M. They have friends, but they are not part of the group. And there are a few isolated teens. You can see that they're reaching out to someone, but without reciprocity. The members of any teen friend group usually share some common features. The first is age. Usually the teenagers in a group are close to the same age, which is natural if they are in school together. Another thing in common is gender. Boys and girls sometimes have different interests and activities, although it's not that uncommon to find friend groups of mixed boys and girls. Another common denominator in groups is socioeconomic status. Usually kids of the same status are drawn together. A classic study was conducted in America, in the city of Elmtown, where the town's families were divided into 5 socioeconomic groups. Then, the kids of these families were studied. It was found that more than 60% of the kids' friends were of the same economic status. The rest of the friends were from the next closest category. Best friends were from the same category. Adolescents are becoming more aware of their family's socioeconomic status, which can influence where they end up or think they belong. Studies have shown that the wealthier the teenager's family, the more likely he or she is to be popular. Another factor that brings friends together is ethnicity. Stereotypes often prevent good communication between teenagers of different ethnicities. Adolescents understand and accept kids from other cultures better if they grow up together. These kids normalize differences and reject stereotypes, understanding that those not like them are not from another planet. In addition, adolescents in the same group tend to have the same attitude towards school. Sometimes this lands them in the same classes and reinforces friendship. If a poor student finds himself in a group that values learning, he will have to study hard to fit in with the group. Or conversely, if a good student is teased for studying so hard, he or she may stop trying. Another factor that can bind a group together is common problems, such as drug use or bullying. One student overseas told me that in his school there were smokers and non-smokers. The kids found their friends in their respective groups. So we see that the peer group can have a negative influence on a teenager, undermining important values such as academics, but it might also have a positive influence, preparing the teen to live outside of their family. Teens may fall into one of 3 social categories related to other teens: group member, periphery, or isolated. Some of the factors that may draw teens together into a group are age, gender, socioeconomic status, ethnicity, attitude towards school, and common problems. What does this mean for our ministry? In one book, I read that there is a question that people usually ask themselves when they walk into a new church. Are there others here like me? Teenagers are asking the same question. When we were living overseas, we once moved back to America for 1 year with 2 teenagers. Our son immediately found his group of boys, but our daughter spent months trying to fit into a group of girls. It may be hard, but we need to keep doing all we can to cultivate a warm, accepting climate in our group and encourage our kids to do the same. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And be sure to check out the materials on our Youth Ministry 22 website. Thank you for your interest in teens. We'll see you next time.